Hey everyone, so today I am in my lovely garage. It's disgusting, don't mind that. But I'm going to work on painting our cabinets from home today. So I'm going to go ahead and get you guys all set up and then you guys can kind of watch the process. Alright, so I removed all the hardware already, so now we're good to start sanding. Hey, so sanding is done. Now it's time to clean. This is one of the most important parts of this because if we don't get all the sand, like the wood sandings off of this, the paint's not going to stick. So you gotta make sure we do a really good wipe down. Getting all the cracks and crevices. Very, very important. And normally I wouldn't use like a disgusting piece of paper towel, but it's all I have right here because our actual like work towels are in the camper, so. All right, time to go ahead and open the paint now that I found a trusty paint opener. So now that we have sanded, cleaned again, poured our paint, mixed our paint of course before you poured it, we are now going to go ahead and do the first coat of paint on the cabinets. I think a very important part of this process is knowing when to stop messing with stuff. And I am such a perfectionist that every single time I see a little bit of spot that isn't perfect, I want to do another coat on it. Whenever you do another coat on it, it actually just pulls up the paint. So I think we're gonna stop being a perfectionist and move on to the next door. On to the last door. I just had to put something underneath it so that way it doesn't get essentially glued down to the table. So let's get this coat done. Also, just so you guys know, I have no idea what I'm doing with the filming, with the painting. I always tell my husband that I am overly confident and highly underskilled, but it's okay. I also found, based off the last one that I did, the last two, that it works better if you do the inner parts and then move on to the outer parts. So we're gonna try that. I will probably get better too at the whole like lighting and the framing and the awkwardness of talking to a camera. Oddly enough, it's pretty weird. I think in the end it's gonna be a great time because we're gonna document our journey, and once we're finished with the camper, we're actually gonna move in and start traveling full time with the 3 doggos that you guys haven't met yet. I know this cabinet color is probably looking white to you guys. It's actually not. It's Mindful Gray. We were nervous about going all white because the walls in the camper are already white. So we thought a little bit of a contrast would be pretty nice, and we didn't want to go too dark because we were nervous about it looking too closed in. We also didn't want to go too like cool tone because, as you guys know, the couch is, well, it's really, really brown. And not just like a nice brown, but a really, really warm, rich brown. So that made the whole process a little bit more difficult. I've also never painted cabinets before, so I have no idea if like this stuff that I bought is actually going to hold up very well over time. But I guess it's one of those, you just have to figure it out as you go, which is exactly what we're doing. All right, well, I think that's it for this portion of at least the first coat of paint. I'll probably pick you guys back up tomorrow when I do the second coat on these. I'm also gonna see if Chris, which is my husband, can go and get a couple more cabinet doors so we can go ahead and get like another couple started. I'm hoping to have everything done here in the next week. Fingers crossed, it's a lot of work. So, all right, I am starting on the second coat of paint on the cabinet doors. They turned out pretty okay with the first coat, but I think the second coat will definitely fix all the little spots that are imperfect. So let's get into this. Tic-tacking and YouTubing at the same time.
Be right back.
Ew. For that new one?
2020 with 26,000 miles on it.
So it's not even new?
Nope. Wow.
Alright, second coat of paint is done, so we'll let this dry for about 12 hours and then we'll come back and see what it looks like. Alright, so update on the cabinets. I was going to go ahead and try to flip them over into the opposite side, but I'm a little nervous that because the cure time is like a day long, I want to give it more time. I would just hate to flip it over to the other side and then it mess up the front side because that's like the most important side. So I'm going to let those set for another day before I move on and do the back side of them. I'm going to go ahead and start taking off the hardware and sanding all the cabinet doors that Chris brought over yesterday for me. So keep watching. So this bright idea that I was going to just let you guys sit here and watch me sand and get the rest of the cabinets ready, and then I realized how boring that's going to be for you, because it's literally watching everything that I've already done again, but times like 25 cabinets. So for the sake of your sanity, I am just going to tackle it, and then we'll pick back up once I do something different other than sanding and taking off hardware. So outside of that, I am just labeling little baggies and putting the hardware inside. Real fun stuff.